welcome everybody back to another episode on the Siege SMP server. That's right, we are back on Season 3. This is going to be my first proper episode on this season, after last episode's mini-episode of server talk and showing off different things in the world. So I wanted to get this today started with a couple of things. First of all, I want to head into the village down here and look for a villager selling melons. And I also want to bury something from Season 2, which will be dearly missed. Now, let's quickly head over to the village here. Now, I'm looking for melons so I can brew health potions, which you'll see in a bit why I need them, because today's episode is all about the skeleton farm. Now, the skeleton farm, I have put a lot of work into it since you guys last saw it. Now, I did actually pre-trade with a lot of these guys, so I know one of them is selling a melon, because I didn't want to come down here aimlessly. So I just wanted to check how much it would cost me, because hopefully I can just do a wheat trade and get... I'll find him, and I guess I'll be back, because that guy I've just checked. Now we just go and find our villager, get our melons, and then we'll head over to the skeleton farm. So it isn't actually very far away from where we are here. There we go, I've got 8 melon seeds. That's for the server, that, because I haven't found a mine shaft yet. So, the thing I wanted to bury from Season 2, which I honestly don't know where to bury him, it is Douglas the horse. Because he went missing, and for a long while I thought he was just gone. He was missing from the server, but actually, it turns out that Peach admitted to walking him into it. So... since I don't actually have any remains of him on this server, his final resting place will be here. Don't really have a few words for him, so I'm just going to write him a sign, and I'll come back to you when I finish writing it, because writing on the exploits is really slow. True message to Douglas the horse. You'll be truly missed. Now let's just hope this doesn't turn into some sort of graveyard. Hey dude, will you just... come here, come on Dougie. Come on. This is my dog, by the way. You sit. That's a good boy. You sit there and guard his grave forever and ever. You will be Douglas's grave guard. So now that we've got that, the skeleton farm actually isn't too far away from spawn, so instead of cutting straight to it, I'm actually going to walk over there with you guys. Because I wanted to kind of show you where it is so people know where it is on the server when we eventually do open up the server to being public. I don't actually have a date for that yet, but it will be soon, don't worry. There is plenty of things to do. Now, with the skeleton farm, which is literally just down here, that's how close we are to spawn. By the way, there are quite a few people on the server today. What I wanted to do is make, like the armor farm from Season 2, the zombie one, I want to make a skeleton one on Season 3. So this is what I've done to the skeleton farm now. And we've only got the world set to easy mode at the moment, so the skeletons don't spawn too much. But the plan is to replicate the armor farm here in this area, just in and around this place here. So I want... now the idea is for the skeletons to come up this tube, to go up somewhere and land here in their pipe, and then obviously I'll terraform around it, fix things up. But then after that, what I want to do is have all the options for the buttons again, the crushers. And obviously I want to add in a dispenser which dispenses health potions, because a dispenser counts as a player, so you'll get the XP and stuff. Either that or I just throw it with the player. It works both ways. Now another thing, I noticed the glass floor we've put in here, it has been dug down a hell of a lot more than it needed to be, so that when I put the underneath redstone in, for like the separating of the bones, the armor, and the arrows, it basically will allow it to see the redstone, because I feel like that's a really cool thing to do, is to show the redstone off underneath the farm. So it's obviously going to be under this section here, and obviously these skeletons are getting quite loud at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get on with the building, and I'll cut back to you when I've made a little bit of progress into what I'm doing here. Also, these skeletons are going to need to die at some point. So I'll see you guys in a sec when I've made a little bit of progress in digging out and building the base of what we need to do. I'll see you in just a second. it's been a little while since I last was with you, and I said I would try and get on with it, and so I have. And this may look a little familiar to you, the too wide entrance area where the skellies are going to thing. I've moved the pillar so that they flow up there and down. And I've been working on this machine back here. Now, I didn't remember how to build this, I'm being honest here. And as you'll have seen during the time-lapse, which I am trying out for the first time ever, you will have noticed that I was kind of starting. You may not see that, I don't know, I haven't edited it up yet. But basically, I've been trying to figure out how this goes together, and I think I'm almost there. I think all I need now is one more slime ball for this piston, which I'm waiting for Mark to stop being AFK, so that he can give me it out of his inventory, so we can get on with this. So I think if I put a sticky piston here with a block on it, it should be finished. It should function as a crusher, so we'll have the 3 skeleton spawners to work, and I guess we'll test it out when he's back, and hopefully it functions properly. Because then this is basically part 1 of it, and I think I'll do part 2 next time now, because I've spent a lot of time working on this, and I've all but run out of time. Part 2 will be the hopper system underneath, separating the armor, and all the stuff like that. I think what we're going to do is we're going to have it move into a storage room, maybe, somewhere. But, because basically how it works is there is a dropper, which shoots the armor through the floor to you. And here's Mark now. So I guess I'll see you guys just in a second. I'll probably drag Mark into this chat while we discuss about the slime balls. You might want to do a deal with him. Hidden away. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, so we'll finish this last little bit off with me here then. So I'll place the sticky piston, and what I want to test is if the machine works. I think there's enough light in there to prevent them. So basically what I've got to do is change the difficulty. Anything, basically. So, here we go. Just put that on hard. We'll change the game difficulty here. We'll watch the skeletons as they go into the machine. And we'll see if our machine functions properly. I put the button here for it, by the way. Just next to it. Just to the side, out the way. So I'll let a couple of skeletons gather up. And then I guess we will try out the machine. I think, meanwhile, while we're waiting for these skeletons to fill up, I'm going to put in the blocks that shouldn't be there. Ow! In fact, I'm going to have to crush them, just so I can place the blocks. So we'll test it. Okay, so what we learned, it pretty much is bang on for killing. So what we need to do is take 1 block out and go with 19. And then we should pretty much be set. So if we come over here, we take 1 out. Pile them back together. Take that out. And this machine should be done then. So I'll run you over the redstone then. So obviously this is the wire with the button. So it then, on a 1 tick delay, runs into this block just to slow it down just slightly. And then, obviously, it pulses through this. This is basically stops it putting circuits in. This is why I needed the extra block. This is what was breaking my system. I had put the redstone block here, and then it would create an infinite loop of power, which is no good. So that's why that sticky piston is there. It activates, it pulses to stop the signal on the redstone block. So it pulses quick enough that the redstone block stays here, but the sticky piston retracts. So obviously, then when it hits here, it powers the hopper, which basically, because it powers the block, you can power blocks adjacent to it, so it uses this hopper to move the blocks one from another. And when there's enough blocks in here, this basically signal length increases so that it can hit here and crushes the skeletons. It's basically all it does. It's just a really complicated way of doing it. So if you want to have a look at the redstone, I will kind of just stand somewhere you can see most. So that's obviously a comparator. You'll need to go to the nether. You'll need 4 slime balls to make 4 sticky pistons, and you'll need a lot of this. It's the second time I've built this, and obviously this block is vital, otherwise you will power this hopper by accident with this block. So yeah, that's pretty much it with the skeletons. They've built up a little bit more here. Let's test them one last time for the end of the episode. There we go, and then basically to finish them off, this is what the health potions will be for, but obviously we've taken so long to build it today, I don't have time to actually get round to doing anything else on the world. Now, obviously, this is where, obviously, we will eventually put the armor farm underneath this, so that'll be probably either next time or the one after. Depends on what we do. But yeah, I wasn't really sure about this glass. It doesn't really make sense why it's there, but I was trying to make everything symmetrical, considering we don't actually have an entranceway yet. So maybe what I can do is have a path which diverts. What I'm thinking, this is a really odd idea, but what I'm thinking of doing is having it so that this spawner can be independently stopped from the rest of them, so that I can send these to the surface to do something with the skeleton's AI. Maybe a creeper farm could be up there. So maybe what we'll do is I need some sticky pistons, which means we need to find a slime chunk, slime farm, blah, 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 blah. So I need it basically to push up the blocks there, so that they'll retract. There's enough space there that it won't break the system with the water. So basically they'll push them all the way into the corner, and then obviously I'll have blocks on sticky pistons come out of the wall to make the, basically like the tube that we have here. And then obviously they'll use this tube as like we've discussed. So I obviously don't actually know the full extent of what I want to do yet. That's the first wall sort of sorted out. So it's obviously multiple ideas I want to do at this place. But that's about it for today's episode, though, everybody. I am pretty much out of time and out of ideas with what I can currently do. So I guess I will see you guys all again next time for another episode of the Siege SMP server. Thank you very much for watching, and bye-bye.